Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 16th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants, as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. 38-year-old Eli Manning heading out to lead the Giants. Look at the numbers. Show how good Eli has been over the years. 7th all-time in passing yards, 8th in touchdowns, 7 4,000-yard seasons, including last year. And he's looking to make one last run before the sun sets on his Hall of Fame career.
Ready? 30 base. Just the mic. Let's go, team. Gonna be a long day like this.
Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Go, set, 8, read. Quit talking about it and bring it. Check 3.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Barkley had his biggest game yardage-wise against these Eagles last year pretty early on in the season. 130 on the ground, 99 more through the air on 9 catches. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing now is Manning, finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Madden going to hand it off to Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to put those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Rosas' kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
So here come the Eagles under 4th-year head coach Doug Peterson. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback Carson Wentz.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Wentz now on 1st down. And off the deflection, it's caught. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
2-time All-Pro center Jason Kelsey is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. 23 yards the pickup there.
We got this.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Wentz on target there to Jeffrey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
18 Gator. Go, go, go.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Saquon Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Down. 60 on.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Like.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Manning, the tight end, Rhett Ellison with it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Well, it's kind of interesting when you think about Eli Manning and what he's done in his career against the Eagles, because it's one of the teams that he's struggled the most with. Just 10-20 in 30 career games head-to-head, including 2 losses last year in 2018, with the Giants losing both in Week 6 and Week 12 to Philadelphia. And Barkley did not get there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now Howard. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong...
Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one, because
it's caught inside the 25. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6.
Go. 180. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Jim. Straight 15. Straight 15. Hey, Lou.
To throw his wins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability, as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses, because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 8. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, the final 3 weeks of the 2019 season still to play, and we start Week 15 on Thursday night. The final Thursday night game of the year, Jets and Ravens from M&T Bank Stadium, with coverage beginning at 8:20 Eastern on EA Sports. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Throwing again on second down. Manning. That one caught by Ellison. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Now Wentz will keep it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, all right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Manning now to throw. Open man here, T.J. Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. Manning now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. The throw right sideline here is complete.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Manning. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Manning going to come up on 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw, it's Manning. He's got his man. This is Tate. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard seasons 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll run with Barkley. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Manning now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And Rosas puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
I got it.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Howard. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Wentz going to throw. Buying time to us, and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And he's going to go down again. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Manning to Barkley on the draw play. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop a shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
Now Manning. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Manning. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Manning. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Again, it's Manning. And that is incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Getting set for the next drive, the tight end, Zach Ertz. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz, screen pass to Sproles. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Don't go this way.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, We know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. 8-3.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the visiting Panthers who were able to come in and get one on the road. Cam Newton leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Wentz now on first down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Marcus Golden able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
57 to Mike. I got you, boy. Hey, stand. Check 9.
Wentz now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Here we go. Back. 2 times.
Running with Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They go with Howard again. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 30 on 2nd down, Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Come on, fellas.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Manning. Out left, Ellison's got it. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Barkley. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Well, that's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. Now they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defense will give him.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Andrew Sendejo in on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Shotgun now for Manning. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A good pickup there, 22.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 1st down, it's Howard. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Again, it's Howard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 1st downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Howard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. If you're a selfish player, and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking for Shepard deep. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, 79 yards, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's looking sharp here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave him a little bounce. Came out, springing his legs, a little pep in his step, and he's taken off and running really well in the third quarter.
Sometimes we talk about how guys don't want halftime to come, but some guys, they're happy when that break gets there.
You never know which way it's going to go. He's taking advantage of it in this one, though.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
They'll keep it on the ground. Howard, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On first down, it's Howard. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard, 37 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes this a 9-point game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Manning to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. That's on Kevin Zeitler, acquired in the Odell Beckham trade. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working from the gun, Manning. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Come on, QB, come on.
Faking the give to Barkley. Now Manning. He completes it to Tate. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st down, Manning to Barkley on the check down. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
To throw is Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. And the Giants' all-time leader in passing yards and completions and touchdowns, just another connection.
No doubt about it. That's the Eli Manning we know, pushing the ball downfield and with proficiency.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Manning. He's got his man. This is Tate. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Manning going to come up on 1st and 10. And he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Switch.
From the 31, Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
There we go.
A look at Sterling Shepard as he and this offense get set to go again. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
A big play there for the Giants. 55 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They go with Howard to begin the drive. Evades the tackler, and now some space. That one 28 yards on the ground. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
74.
On 2nd down, it's Howard, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And he gets it complete to Latimer. And he'll go down at the 28. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. He completes it to Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Oh, no, lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to throw, Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep down. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that,